Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I had a bit of a photography epiphany, shall we say, the other day in regards to where I am with my photography right now, where I'd like to go with it moving forward, and stuff that I want to work on as well. And I figured this may have some value for somebody, but if not, then just enjoy some very random photos that I took the other day throughout this video. So the photography epiphany in question then, I'm not sure if it's actually an epiphany, but that's what I'm rolling with. A few weeks back, I went through my folder from the last year, photography wise, and this is something I do every single year. I try to pick out the very best photos from that year. In previous years, I haven't found it very hard at all to pick my favorites and then narrow those down to 5. This year, however, I was struggling quite a bit. You can look at this from a few different angles, and just to clarify as well, last year I shot just as much, or if not more, than any other year before. So rate of shooting did not play a role in this whatsoever. It wasn't a case that I didn't shoot very much, therefore I didn't have many images that I liked. So you could say, obviously, I took less images I was happy with, therefore I just had a less successful photography year. And on the flip side of that, you could say, well, I took so many images that I liked, it was just a struggle to pick my favorites because I was so successful. I kept coming back to this little task, sitting down at my desk and trying to narrow them down and trying to pick ones to put in the possible best folder. And I basically came to the realization, spoken like a true politician, that I was somewhere in between those two outcomes. There were lots of images I liked and I looked at and I said, you know what, that's a good shot, that. And I think last year as well was possibly one of my most successful years in terms of execution when actually going out and taking photos. But the problem was there were less images that were absolute sure items, sure no contest belonged in the best of the year folder. So after about 3 or 4 times of sitting down at my desk and trying to complete this little exercise, I basically came to the conclusion that I don't suck, I think, but I've also still got a long way to go to land where I really want to be with photography. And I think that realization, that very conscious thought and saying it out loud that you don't suck, but you've still got a very long way to go, is one of the most exciting places you can find yourself with photography. The way I look at it, I'm going to use my memory card case here as a metaphor. Let's imagine this is a seesaw, and there's 3 places you can be on the seesaw: one end, the other end, and in the middle. Now, on the left hand side, you've got, I absolutely suck, my photos are rubbish, I think I might sell my camera and pick up a different hobby. That's a horrible place to be. On the other end of that, you've got the slight delusion of believing you're the best photographer in the world and Sony Alpha should send me all their camera gear for free, and there's just no more improvement I can do. And then balanced in the middle, I believe you've got that, I'm pretty good, you know, I'm going somewhere with this, I don't suck. A lot of my photos are pleasing and good and I'm getting there, but I've got a long way to go yet. I don't want photography to ever get to a point where it's stale, and something being stale closely aligns with something feeling easy. So being in that middle portion, I think, where you know how much you've got to improve and you've clearly defined stuff that you want to work on, I think, like I say, is really exciting, keeps you motivated, keeps you going out. It was the realization of the refinements I need to make, and also the realization that I could essentially go back to every single spot I've ever photographed and possibly capture a much better image. Because when you've been doing photography for so long, the problem is the locations that you visited a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, you may not have been back to many times since, and your skills, eye, intuition, all of that stuff has gotten so much better, or should have gotten so much better, than realistically you need to make time to go back there. After doing this and realizing what I realized, I think I might want to go to pick certain places and go there every month, every 2 months, and other places that are maybe a bit further, maybe go 2 or 3 times in the year and really learn that place a lot more and really try and come away from that place with a photo that is one of those best photos. And then I'm also going to continue having those crazy mornings of multiple pins on the map where I run around and try and visit as many of them as possible. And then from those visits, quick flying visits, taking lots of photos at them that I might not be considering with the utmost thought, I can come away and pick out a few of those pins and subjects and locations that I do then want to spend more time on. So hopefully from those crazy pin mornings where I run around visiting lots of different subjects, I can then come up with a second list of places that are go-to spots that, you know, when I look out the window and it's foggy outside, or I know there's going to be an incredible sunrise, I can pick one of those spots off the list and go there and give me a much higher chance of getting a fantastic photo. I think it's very easy for photographers, given that the fun part of photography, or the best part of photography, is actually going out of our camera and just getting out to these nice places and taking photos. But we can very easily get in a cycle of week after week, month after month, year after year, just heading out with our camera, taking photos and then sticking them on our computer and editing them. But if you don't take a moment to analyze and sit back and realize what you want to work on, then it can just feel a bit like a pointless cycle of just going out with your camera, taking photos, coming back, sticking them on the computer. So having that list of stuff you'd like to work on for the year or however long is very, very valuable. So let me know in the comments down below if there's anything you're specifically working on this year, or you're focusing on, or anything that you do or are going to do to stay motivated and keep improving, because I'd really like to know everyone else's suggestions, goals, whatever it may be. Plenty more videos on the way. I'm going to follow up this video soon with a bit of a breakdown video of stuff that did and didn't work, that will hopefully be very valuable, because I often think mistakes, seeing people's mistakes, is one of the best ways you can learn, if not more valuable than seeing when something was successful. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.